The moment you've all been waiting for. My father, Boy Green's dad, as it says on the headline, is doing his official final 7 round mock draft to fix the New York Jets. Good luck to all of us. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Zooey mama.
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. It's a Saturday, and a very special Saturday episode it is, because my father's mock draft is finally here. We're going to be doing it live on the show. Feel free to react to all the picks as they're coming in and the moves my father is making. You can grade it after. We'll open up the phone lines. It's going to be a good old time. Without further ado, let's bring him in. Hop on Pop, Draft Pump Up. He's here on the program. What's up, Pop?
Hey now, let me tell you something, brother. This is going to be some good time here. Let's go.
Which reminds me, Dad, do you know what time it is? It's clobbering time. Sorry, wrong show. Shout out to CM Punk, baby, tonight in the main event of WrestleMania, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. Draft time is what it really is, baby, here on the program. And I want to give this shout out right off the top, Pop. Obviously, we had our wonderful draft giveaway that happened earlier this month, which I can't wait for. It's awesome. But we want to do a couple of these sporadically, randomly. You never know when they're going to happen, Pop. Because it's your mock draft day, I feel like we should do a flash giveaway. So, folks, and I see we already have some action in the comments section, that will count. We are doing a flash giveaway on today's show. Okay? I'm about to show you the prizes. I have them right here next to me. A couple of times we'll do a flash giveaway where the giveaway is only happening on this show. It's a one-day only show. All memberships, super chats, and everything are up for grabs for this flash giveaway. Here it is. Okay, folks, we got a brand new old school New York Jets draft hat. This is brand spanking new, baby. Fresh out of the shop. New York Jets hat. We also have a Jets shirt, and this is one from my personal collection. I love this. I've been hanging on to this forever. Look at this. We got the Young Guns. Shout out to Maverick. All right. Top Gun. Get a little bit of this action going on. There's Quincy Enunwa and the artist formerly known as Robbie Anderson, who's changed his name as many times as I've done Boy Green Daily shows, for God's sakes. So both of those are up for grabs, baby. Brand new draft hat. Cool old school Jet shirt. Both of them up for grabs. Again, every membership and super chat that comes in, it will be raffle style. So we'll give it again. Obviously, the more you give, the more chances you have. But I would highly recommend betting anything or submitting anything in terms of memberships and super chats to have a chance. Flash giveaway today only. We'll do it throughout my father's mock draft in between a lot of action. And without further ado, Pop, good Lord have mercy. I mean, aced up 10 with a $50 super chat to kick us off here. Wow. Zerai Luna, I couldn't have said it any better than myself. $49.99 super chat. What up, BG? Haven't tuned in for a live show for a while. Been busy with work. Salute. And we were going to have Aced Up 10. He called in on one of these shows, and he was at a very secret location that I want him to be able to reveal if and when he's still there whenever a call-in happens. He was at a pretty cool place for Jet fans. But thank you, Aced Up 10. You are firmly in this flash raffle. There's no question about it. Thank you so much for all your contributions to the show. Super cool, man. Super cool. That's what a way to get us started, huh, Pop?
Absolutely. Here we go. That gets the old juices flowing.
That is for certain. So 16 raffle tickets for Aced Up 10, which we appreciate, and some loose change if any other action comes up here on the program. So salute to you, Aced Up 10. Good Lord, have mercy. You love to see it, baby. All right, let's get a membership being gifted. Shout out to Indy Jets jumping in on the train. All right. I have a feeling we may be hearing that a little bit throughout today's show. That membership went to late night. You received a Boy Green Coffee Club membership thanks to our boy Indy Jets. Indy Jets, you have a raffle ticket for a flash giveaway today, which we love. All right, beautiful. So keep them flowing throughout today's show. Again, you have an opportunity to win that prize action. Again, a brand new Jets hat, and a shout out to Quincy Enunwa, one of my favorite Jets of all time. Throw him on the list of recent Jets. All right, Pop. Without further ado, are you ready to rock and roll, baby?
Yeah, did I miss it? Did you name the person that got the membership?
I did. Late night.
Okay, very good. I am ready. Let's go.
Okay, so for context, everybody, and transparency, we'll be using the PFF mock draft simulator. As a PFF member, you can use this 7-round mock draft simulator, and it's pretty gosh darn cool. So we're going to be using it throughout today's program. Pop, you are the GM. Hop on Pop will be making all of the picks. I will merely serve as a vessel, and I will just explain players who are on the board or poke his brain about who he is thinking, but he makes the final call. He's the boss. It's his show. I am merely, like I said, a vessel to deliver this juicy mock draft to all of our wonderful Jet fans. It will be a full 7-round mock draft. Currently, the New York Jets only have picks within the first 6 rounds, but who knows if that will change. So, Pop, are we ready to enter the draft?
Yes, let's enter the draft.
Okay, before I start, is there any trading up going on here? Should I be aware of any of that action?
No.
Okay, no trading up, which, by the way, Rich Sabine in his podcast this week said that'd be incredibly unlikely if the Jets traded up. So there you go. Let's start the draft. Okay, so I will only do this in the first round, and then in every other round, I will no longer make these conversations of saying what picks went with what players. So I'll reveal that for our audio-only listeners as well. With the first overall pick, the Tennessee Titans took Abdul Carter, the pass rusher out of Penn State. Cleveland took Mason Graham, the interior defense lineman out of Michigan. Travis Hunter, the corner wide receiver combo, went to the New York Giants with the 3rd overall pick. Tet McMillan, the Arizona wide receiver, went 4th overall to the New England Patriots. Will Campbell, the LSU offensive tackle, went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ashton Genty, as popularly mock picked, the running back out of Boise State, went to the Las Vegas Raiders with the 6th overall pick. And now the Jets sit on the clock at 7th overall. Pop, what is the play?
Well, I just want to let everyone know I just got off the phone with Sean Payton. And I've cooked up a draft day bonanza.
Oh my goodness.
We are trading back, baby.
Okay, a trade back for Pop. So, okay, let's get this party started here and see what is happening. There is some trade negotiations, I understand, happening behind the scenes. So, okay, juicy, very juicy for that happening. Let's see where potentially we can go here with this mock draft situation, and we will see what happens. Okay. And yes, all right, wow. Okay, it is official. The negotiations are in for the Jets and the Denver Broncos. You and Sean Payton, kind of worked out a hard deal here, Pop, but it's official. The Jets are moving back from 7 to number 20 overall. They're picking up the Denver Broncos' 2nd-round draft choice at 51, the Denver Broncos' 3rd-round draft choice at 85, and a 3rd-rounder in 2026. So a massive trade back, but a massive haul of picks coming for the New York Jets. You're leaning more on acquiring picks for this year as opposed to the future, because this could lean to maybe a future first-round draft choice potentially. But I like that you're loading up for this year because it sounds like you've got a plan, Pop. So now we fast forward all the way to the 20th overall pick, where the Jets now have a first-round pick where they swapped with the Denver Broncos in the first round as they moved up, likely for like an Marion Hampton or something. But anywho, Pop, all right, what are we looking at here? After that, what a trade.
Yeah, I want to know what defensive tackles are on the board.
Okay, let's go through the defensive tackles here on the board. Here they are. Okay, we have Omar, Norman, Lott. Remember, these are rankings of PFF, so I will just read them in order of their PFF standing. Tyleik Williams, defensive lineman out of Ohio State. Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle out of Oregon. Darius Alexander, defensive tackle out of Toledo, getting a lot of buzz. And TJ Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Those are the main top guys at the top of the board here.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yep, sure.
No. Yeah, so let's go offensive tackle.
Okay, let's look at a different position. I like the cut of your jib, pal. Okay, let's jump over there. All right, we go to offensive tackle here. Interesting. We've got some interesting names here. Gray Zabel is more so people project him on the interior at the next level, but it depends on your perspective. The North Dakota State offensive lineman. Josh Connolly Jr., the offensive tackle out of Oregon, one of the very talented offensive tackles still available in this draft. You have Donovan Jackson, who again could be tackle guard out of Ohio State. Ariante Ursary and Ozzie Trapillo are the top offensive tackle options here at pick 20.
All right, let's go wide receiver.
Okay, let's go wide receiver. I like you evaluating all your options here, Pop. Very smart. Calculated move here. Very smart. All right, we've got Luther Burden III, the wide receiver out of Missouri. Matthew Golden, the talented wide receiver out of Texas, is still available here. And then we got some second-round options here. Eric A.O. Manor, wide receiver at Stanford. You have Jaden Higgins, a wide receiver out of Iowa State. Jack Besh out of TCU. Those are all the first-round guys that are, or the borderline first-round guys, excuse me, that are on the board.
Okay.
Okay, let me hit the chimes.
With the 20th pick of the 2025 draft, the New York Jets select Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Wowza. I will just say this will make Heb very happy in the comment section to be able to trade back and get a dynamic wide receiver like Matthew Golden. Absolutely love it. Beautiful. I love it. Let me, I'm going to be mocking these down here just in case for any technical difficulties here with the system. But Matthew Golden, Texas wide receiver, I love it. At pick 20. Good work, Pop. Okay, nice. You got Garrett Wilson, a running mate. That's good to see. Now we jump over to let me see the chat real quick, see if everyone okay. There's a lot of people loving that pick. Oh yeah, specifically Hep. He's given a LA Knight. Yeah. To that pick. Okay, I love the WrestleMania references. Very nice, everybody. Okay, here we go. Now we jump over to pick 42. Remember, the additional pick we picked up was from Denver in the 50s in terms of a second-round draft choice. We're now here at 42, the Jets' original second-round pick. Where are we looking, Bob?
Yeah, let's go to defensive tackle first.
Okay, all right, defensive tackle, sure. Big need area for the Jets. All right, Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle to Ohio State, is still on the board. TJ Sanders, the defensive tackle to South Carolina, is still on the board. Then we go and do the CJ West's defensive tackle out of Indiana, Shamar Turner, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, and then a couple of Texas boys, and Alfred Collins and Vernon Broughton. Those are the big names still on the board here.
Okay. And offensive tackle?
Okay, sure. Let's jump over there. Offensive tackle, we still have some of the names we had on the board. The other one that's sort of off the board is looks like Josh Connolly Jr. has since been taken, unfortunately. But Donovan Jackson, the tackle guard out of Ohio State. Ariante Ursary, tackle out of Minnesota. Ozzie Trapillo, the offensive tackle out of Boston College.
Okay, great. Let's go to just show me safeties real quick.
Safeties, sure. Okay, there you go. That's a position of need for the green and white. Okay, we have Kevin Winston Jr., the safety out of Penn State. We have Xavier Watts, the safety out of Notre Dame. Andrew Makuba Matano, the safety out of Texas. Nick Emanwari is somehow still on the board. That is bonkers. He's on the board in this mock draft simulation. And Latham Ransom, the safety out of Ohio State. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention R.J. Mickens, the son of former Jets player Ray Mickens, the safety out of Clemson, also here on the board. All right?
Okay. I apologize for back and forth. I need to go back defensive tackle.
Nope, that's okay. No issues, Pop. You're running this ship. I'm just merely the vessel. Okay, we're at defensive tackle. Okay. Is the pick in?
Go to the top.
Okay, yep, we're at the top. Yep, Tyleik Williams is the top defensive tackle out of Ohio State, excuse me. Then we got T.J. Sanders, C.J. West, Shamar Turner, and then the Texas boys.
Okay. I'm going to make my selection, but I want to trade up, so I don't want you hitting that button.
Okay, so you're going to make a pick at 42, and then you want to trade up again. Is that correct?
So there's 8 picks in between. Yeah. Yeah, we'll make the pick, and we'll roll the dice.
Okay, so no trade.
No trading.
Okay, all right. So play the chimes.
Play the chimes.
Okay, with the 42nd overall pick, the New York Jets in the second round select
South Carolina defensive tackle T.J. Sanders.
Okay, very nice. T.J. Sanders is the pick. Defensive tackle help. Okay, you can use it. Beautiful. All right, T.J. Sanders, South Carolina defensive tackle. Very nice. All right, let's go to your new pick, which is 51. That's the second round pick you acquired from the Denver Broncos here on the board. All right, what position would you like me to check?
Let's go to the safety.
Oh boy, I think you're
Come
going
on,
to be
baby.
disappointed.
Come on,
Pop.
baby. Come on.
Xavier Watts is off the board, which let me peek up. He was the 46th overall pick to the Atlanta Falcons.
I should have traded up. I rolled the dice there on that one.
Sorry, Pop. Sorry, Pop.
Rolled the dice.
Sometimes you risk it to get the biscuit, and sometimes no biscuit delivered, unfortunately. Sorry there, Pop.
Oh, that's truly disappointing. Okay, let's go to offensive tackle, please.
Okay, yep, let's pivot. And that's okay. That's what the draft's all about. Okay, someone just sniped you. That's okay. We go to offense tackle. Somehow, Ariante Ursary still on the board. Unbelievable. Ozzie Trapillo on the board out of Boston College. You have Marcus Embo, the Purdue tackle, and also the Arizona tackle guard combination, depending on how you feel about him. Jonah Savaiane is also on the board as well. Charles Grant, tackle out of William and Mary. Anthony Belton, another tackle out of NC State. So a couple options there.
Yeah. We're going to come right back to offensive tackle. Zip me over to edge.
Ooh, okay. I like this. Where could we be going here? All right, edge rusher. We got my boy JT Tuamiloau out of Ohio State. You got Aladejo, the UCLA pass rusher. Jared Ivey, edge rusher out of Mississippi. Josiah Stewart out of Michigan. Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina. Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Another guy there. Elijah Roberts, SMU. Jordan Birch out of Oregon. Savion Jones, the edge out of LSU. A couple of those guys. And my boy, David Walker, edge rusher out of Central Arkansas. Salute to you, my sir. Okay.
All right. So before we go too far,
all right,
I want to I have my pick for the 51st pick. However, I want to move up.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. Yes, so we could do that now. So, okay, where do you want to move up to, Pop?
I want to move up to the mid to late 50s, maybe 60.
Okay, all right. So here are some potential options here. I'll just start giving you some teams that could be in the range. There's the Chargers at 55, Bills at 56, Panthers at 57, Texans at 58, Ravens at 59, Lions at 60. Do any of those teams check off anything for you?
Yeah, I'd like to screw over the Buffalo Bills.
Sure, they got two. They have 2 picks in the second round. So okay.
So I'd like to take their 56th pick just so later on they can rue the day they effed around and found out.
Okay, we'll work on that right now. Behind the scenes, it looks like, let's see here. All right. Okay. So you want their 56th overall pick. Is there anything we'll work on the trades behind the scene as you're on the phone with Brandon Bean back there. But is there any other targets you have, or that you just want to acquire 56?
I want 56, and I'm thinking I would give them maybe the new 3rd round that we acquired for 2026.
Oh, okay.
With either maybe with 70, preferably with 85.
Okay, let's see. The trade has a 39 chance to be accepted here.
That's for the 2026 and the 85?
That is correct, yes.
What about if we do the 73?
That's 100% chance of being accepted.
Well, let's try the 85. And
okay, sure. What do you have
off.
to lose? So sure, okay. Let me offer that trade and see what happens. Buffalo has accepted that trade. So there you go. You got a trade up here. Again, for our audio only listeners and also for others, let me throw this back up on the big board here as negotiations are going on with Pop and Brandon Bean and his whole stance on trying to screw over the Buffalo Bills. So Pop has moved up he also has pick 51, which is still active right now from Denver, but he's also moved up to pick 56 overall. He had to give up the Denver third rounder he picked up, which was 85 overall, and the future third rounder he picked up from Denver in 2026. Dad is a mad scientist right now for Hop on Pop, so he's got 51 and 56. Any other trades you want to make immediately here, or is that it for now?
It's time to cook.
Okay, all right. Let's go back to drafting a player here. Okay, what position would you like me to jump over to?
Offensive tackle. We're going to offensive tackle.
Okay, I like it. There's some juicy offensive tackle names on the board, so it's time to play the chimes?
Time to play the chimes.
Okay, here we go. Let's roll, baby. All right, with the 51st overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Hop on Pop has the New York Jets selecting
Ozzie Trapillo, Boston College,
wow.
Offensive tackle.
Briante Ursary, I like it. Ozzie Trapillo is the new starting right tackle for the New York Jets. Beautiful.
24 games starting at right tackle for the Golden Eagles. It's a solid pick. Nice.
Okay, we jump over now to pick 56 overall. This is the pick you just traded up with the Buffalo Bills to acquire. You wanted another second-round pick, so it must be another guy, I imagine, you're targeting here. Where are we looking here immediately?
We are going to edge.
Okay, edge. Okay. The edge of the world as we know it. All right, let's jump on over there to edge rusher. Okay. The only guy who looks like he's gone is, unfortunately, my boy JT Tuimoloau out of Ohio State. But it looks like
the gentleman that I targeted with this trade, who is a Bruin, is still available. He's very similar to the Georgia Satellites.
Okay.
Right? Keep your hands to yourself. He's very good at shucking the hands. We're going to go with the pick. Roll the music.
All right. With the 56 overall pick in this NFL 2025 draft, you have the New York Jets selecting
edge rusher Oluwafemi Olajede. I can't say his name.
Okay, yeah, it looks to me to be Oluwafemi Aladejo. Okay, we have him as the pick. He is the edge rusher out of UCLA. Okay, very nice. Okay, any trading happening here, or we're just going to let this baby roll?
Let's see. My next
I would assume is 73, third round. Yep.
73. Let's look at the old
trade chart
safety first, and then
before we submit this pick officially.
Yeah.
Okay.
73. Right. I'm good for now. We can move.
Forward. So make that pick.
Make that pick.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. Just want to make sure. So okay. Again. Oluwafemi Oladejo is now the pass rusher for the Jets, again with the 56 overall pick in the second round. We now drop down to 73. That is the original third round pick for the New York Jets here in this draft. So far, just to catch everybody up, we've made 4 picks so far in this mock draft scenario. My Pop traded from 7 to 20 with Denver to select Matthew Golden, the Texas wide receiver. At 42, he took TJ Sanders, the South Carolina defensive tackle. He then traded up with the third from Denver and the future third from Denver to trade up for Ozzie Trapillo, the Boston College right tackle. And then obviously we also have, or he moved that up at 56 because 51 is what he acquired from Denver. And then Oluwafemi Aladejo, UCLA pass rusher at 56. Long story short, we got 4 players here for the Jets. All right, where are we going next, Bob?
Yeah, we're going to peek 2 places. I want to look at safety and tight end.
Okay. A couple of things here. First off, I'll give a couple of shout outs to the chat. Nick Teodoro, hey BG, happy Mania weekend. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Nick Teodoro, a wrestling super fan who also has his own wrestling podcast. Shout out to you, buddy. Also, I want to give another reminder to the 300 people in the room. We're doing a flash giveaway for this show only. Here it is. Okay. All right. We got a brand new Jets hat. It's up for grabs. All the tags still on it. Again, brand new old school New York Jets hat. Brand spanking new. All right. And we also have this cool Jet shirt, giving a shout out to Quincy Anunwa, the artist formerly known as Robbie Anderson, the Young Guns. A shout out to the Top Gun reference. Both of these are available. It's a flash giveaway, which means only the super chats and memberships submitted on today's show, or PayPal or Venmo, whichever you prefer. Only today's count towards this giveaway. So it is a flash giveaway for this show only. So continue to send in your membership super chat questions for Pop in the middle of this draft. Feel free to submit those. And they're $2.99 a piece per raffle ticket. So make sure you consider that when you're sending in your super chats here on the show and everything as well. And as Zach Quinn says, make sure you guys like the video. That's a free way to contribute. We're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers. Chip away every day. All right. Appreciate all those commentaries and keep them coming, people. Light them up. All right, Pop, excuse me. My apologies. What is the position that you said you wanted to go to now?
I want to look at tight end.
Ooh, tight end. Okay, sure. All right. Mason Taylor still on the board, the LSU tight end. Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Harold Fannin Jr. on the board here out of Bowling Green. Gunnar Helm out of Texas. Benjamin Urosuric, the tight end out of Georgia. And look, another Notre Dame Golden Domer tight end that's going to make it to the NFL level. And Mitchell Evans is on the board as well. So a couple of shout outs there.
Okay. Let's go over to safety.
Okay, sure. Let's do it. All righty. Let's jump over to the safety position. My boy Andrew Makuba Matata, still on the board, of course. The safety out of Texas. R.J. Mickens, we mentioned, the son of Ray Mickens, a longtime former New York Jet. Latham Ransom, Ohio State safety on the board here. Billy Bowman Jr. out of Oklahoma. Although James Woody would call him Billy Bowman Jr. Jonas Sanker, the safety out of Virginia. Jalen Reed out of Penn State. Sebastian Castro out of Iowa. Okay.
Go scroll up.
Okay. Do you have your pick?
Maybe. Go back to tight end.
Okay, sure. All right. Also, I can, at any time that you need it, I can tell you your remaining picks that you have if you do not have that available in front of you.
I have it.
Okay. All right. Do you have a target in mind here?
I would like to move up.
Say that one more time.
I want to because this, and the reason we're doing this is how PFF works. I just want to say that because as soon as we make the pick, it fast forwards to the Jets.
Right. So you just want to be.
So I've got to. If I'm going to trade up, I've got to trade up, or I miss
now
the opportunity
to do
trade
it. Right. I appreciate you
everybody.
explaining that. Yes, because that may seem odd. Right. We don't want it to skip the next pick, so you can trade up from that perspective. Okay. What's your target? Again, your next pick after 73 is 110 overall in the fourth round. So where's your target place?
Yeah. So my target place is around the 80 to 85.
Okay, I will. All right, let's work the phones here behind the scenes. I will work on that for you. Okay, beautiful. Let's try to get you up as you have a target in mind, apparently. Okay, I love it. Okay, 1 second here. Let's try to see if I can work some magic with you here behind the scenes. All right, beautiful. Okay, what do you want to give up for moving up to that place, Pop?
Yeah, so I'm willing to trade 110.
Yep.
162.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Let's see what that shakes out of the trees.
So far that shakes out absolutely nothing.
Add 207.
Okay. Still nothing.
All right, drop 207, add 186.
Okay. Still nothing.
Okay, we'll stand pat then. I'm not willing to.
Okay, you're not willing to do that. Okay, fair enough. So be it. All right. Do you have your pick? Excuse me, for 73 overall?
Yes. Let's go back to the big board.
Okay,
The tight end.
Okay, beautiful. Let's throw it back up here on the big board. Again, we're in the middle of Hop on Pop's official final 7-round mock draft live with the PFF mock draft simulator here on the program. 73 overall, the original Jets 3rd-round draft choice here on the board. Alrighty.
Tight end, please.
Okay, sure. Oh, my apologies. Sorry. All right, let's jump over to tight end. Boy, do we need some help. Okay, there's a lot of big names still on the board here. Okay.
Yeah.
Play the
So
Giants?
some of this doesn't seem reasonable.
Fair enough, which I appreciate you doing that for this mock.
I could give myself a better draft grade, but it doesn't seem
realistic.
Realistic.
I understand. Okay. So play the chimes.
So no. Now I've got a good grip. I would like to just do one more trade. If this doesn't work, we'll just roll. So I'd like to move up. I'd like to move up to 95.
Ooh, wow, that is oddly specific. I like it. Okay, let's see here. Let me see. Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs. Interesting. Okay, what's your offer?
110 and 162.
Okay. All right, let's offer that. Let's send that through. That trade has been accepted. So let's throw that up on the big board here so I can show you guys what the heck just happened. All right, we have a trade. I should probably get a trade sounder of some kind, but I'll work on that in the future. Pop has made a trade. He's traded up from 110 and 162. Okay, he's given up both of those 2 picks to move up to pick 95 at the tail end of the 3rd round there. At 95, I do believe. Let me double check. I do believe we're still in 3rd round range, and yes, that's one of the final picks of the 3rd round. So, okay, you've successfully moved up. Any other moving around?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, so let's go over here. You now have that extra pick. I love your mad scientist jumping around here. Very nice. This is great. All right, so what's the pick at 73?
Hit those chimes.
Okay, all right. Do I need to go back to tight end?
Nope, you do not.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, here we go. I tried to do something here. Here are the chimes. 3rd overall pick in the 3rd round. The New York Jets select in this mock draft.
Texas safety, Andrew Mukuba.
Okay, there you go. Makuba Matata, baby. You've made the people very, very happy. A very talented, versatile defensive back that can play all over the place. Parents from Congo, he from Zimbabwe. I love it. Okay, Makuba is the pick for the New York Jets at 73 overall. Now we drop down to their next pick at 95, which you traded up with the Kansas City Chiefs for. What position?
Tight end.
Oh, okay, that was aggressive. Okay, let's go.
Harold Fanning Jr., lock it in.
Okay, I'll play the chimes, even though no longer necessary. I will repeat it for those just at home. This is one of those that he tested the line, said, okay, where can I go exactly in this draft to maximize it to get my guy, which is part of the allure of the draft. Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end out of Bowling Green, who, again, just had the greatest tight end season perhaps of all time. Again, 3 siblings in our audience is going to be losing his gosh darn bananas for this pick because he loves Harold Fannin Jr. And look at all of this jumping around. Okay, Jimmy Jets have asked for a recap, and don't all of us need this, for God's sakes, with everything that's gone on the board. Okay, here are the results so far. I will put aside the trades, and I will just give you the picks because my brain will implode. But I love it, okay? 20th overall, Pop took Matthew Golden, the Texas wide receiver. 42nd overall, TJ Sanders, the South Carolina defensive tackle. 51st overall, Ozzie Trapillo, the Boston College right tackle. 56th overall, Oluwafemi Oladejo, the UCLA pass rusher, on the board at 56. 73 overall, Andrew Makuba, the safety out of Texas. And Harold Fannin Jr., tight end out of Bowling Green, with the 95th overall pick. Some great double, triple, quadruple, and apparently quintuple dipping here happening in this mock draft scenario. So there it is. Let's freaking go. Okay. And we will see as we continue to rock and roll or mock and roll through this mock draft. Beautiful. So Harold Fannin Jr. is officially the pick, at pick 95. Before I submit this, is there any other trading or moving around going on here? because there's a big gap here. You're 50 picks away from your next selection, which is at 145.
Yeah, I go to let's just check two places. Let's check quarterback.
Oh, okay. All right. Very nice. Let's jump over there. All right. Quarterbacks, we have Will Howard, quarterback out of Ohio State. Riley Leonard, quarterback at Notre Dame. Jackson Dart somehow is still here on the board. That seems unrealistic. Tyler Shuck, probably unrealistic, the quarterback out of Louisville. You have Dylan Gabriel, quarterback out of Oregon. Quinn Ewers, quarterback out of Texas. Kyle McCord, quarterback out of Syracuse. And Curtis Rourke, the quarterback out of Indiana, to give us some of the top guys still available.
All right. And then let's bop over to linebacker for me.
But let me just clarify. This is before I officially submit
I
the Herald. Okay. Yep. I just want to make sure. Okay. What's the other position you want me to look at now?
Linebacker.
Okay. Let's go to off-ball linebacker here. Very nice. Again, this is just because of the PFF system. Give another reminder out there. We have to get this trade in, or it's going to skip to the Pop's next pick here. So he's just sort of peeking around. All right, we have Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker out of Oregon. Barrett Carter, linebacker out of Clemson. Jack Kaiser. I know Sharon's a big Jack Kaiser Notre Dame fan in our comment section. Appreciate you, Sharon. Kobe King, linebacker out of Penn State. Cody Simon, the linebacker out of Ohio State. Cody Lindenberg, linebacker out of Minnesota. Gives you some of the top off-ball linebackers still on the board.
Okay, good. We can launch this.
Okay, so you're fine with taking Fannin and then jumping to pick 145?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. So again, Harold Fannin Jr., tight end Bowling Green is a pick at 95th overall. A lot of picks are happening here. It's jumping all the way down to 145. We only have 3 picks left, 145, 186, and 207 respectively. Okay. Where are we going next, Pop?
Let's go back to the quarterback and linebacker.
Okay, so quarterback, we still have Tyler Shuck available somehow. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback out of Oregon. Quinn Ewers, quarterback out of Texas. Kyle McCord, quarterback out of Syracuse. And then that's our top quarterbacks available at this point. And what's the other one you said? Linebacker?
Linebacker, that's right.
Okay. All right, let's go to off-ball linebacker here. Also, shout out to RJ Mickens, who's still available. Appreciate you, RJ. Keep hanging on tight, buddy. I'm sure you'll get picked eventually. All right, we got Kobe King, Penn State, Cody Simon, Ohio State, Cody Lindenberg, Minnesota, Danny Stretzman, linebacker, Oklahoma. Those are the top off-ball linebackers on the board. Okay.
Let's go back to defensive tackle for a minute.
Defensive tackle. Okay, I don't mind a potential double dip here. Did we get one of those earlier? Yeah, of course, TJ Sanders. So I would not the depth of this draft. That would be tasty, depending on who you ended up going with here. All right, we got Ty Robinson, the defensive tackle out of Nebraska. Tim Smith, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. Jared Harrison Hunt, defensive tackle out of SMU. Tonka Hemingway, another defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Deion Walker, baby, the 6'8" defensive tackle out of Kentucky, still here on the board. And Riley Mills, your Notre Dame Golden Domer, also on the board here. Zeke Biggers, defensive tackle out of Georgia Tech, to round out a lot of the top still on the board.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's see if we can get a trade.
Okay, beautiful.
For
what pick are you looking for? 170. Okay, I will work on that. Okay, what are you looking to give up in this 170 situation?
186 and 207.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, let's just get aggressive here. Okay. Let me see here. That would be Buffalo, who has back-to-back picks at that point. So we'll go to Buffalo, because apparently you and Buffalo, Brandon Bean over there, are best friends. Good to see. Good to see that happening in the division. Okay. You may have to pick another one. Apparently Buffalo is uninterested in making a move, which I can't blame them for after all the slapping around you did to them earlier, for God's sake. So what about 169? Would that be all right?
Sounds good.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so you want 169. You want to give up both 186 and 207, you said?
Yes.
Okay. The trade is 100% chance of getting accepted. Would you like to try to work at another pick here to see if you can get a little more out of them?
Yeah, see if we can get their maybe their one of their 6th-round pick. So
Okay, yeah, let me see. Never mind. I guess this is just the perfect trade from their perspective. They said it's this or nothing.
all right, we'll take it.
Okay, there you go. Let's offer that trade, and it of course will be accepted because they were 100% interested in that. Those, little clingy bastards were unwilling to give us one of those 7s back, but appreciate another trade with Brandon Bean and Hop on Pop here. The Jets required pick 169 overall in exchange for 186 and 207 overall. The Jets got that 207 pick originally from the Mecole Hardman deal. Okay, so we're currently on the board at pick 145, and the only other pick remaining in this class is now 169. So, okay, what are we going with here, Pop?
All right, go back to quarterback.
Okay. And would you like the chimes played?
I would.
All righty, here we go. Let's go, baby. The 145th overall pick in this mock draft for 2025. The New York Jets select
Syracuse quarterback, Kyle McCord.
There you go, baby. Kyle McCord, welcome to the New York Jets. By the way, I just heard Kyle McCord. He just did an interview with Rich Eisen on the Rich Eisen Show, which we appreciate. He was still back in Syracuse getting ready for the draft, and he said one of the teams he's talked with the most is the New York Jets. They are on the list with several others, Giants, Saints, a couple other teams that have been circling his wagon, but the Jets are among the picks. And for those who don't know, he wears jersey number 6 in college. People say, oh, that's interesting. It's for the Sanchez. For Mark Sanchez is the reason he wears that. So he was born in New Jersey, believe it or not, with all his moving around. Kyle McCord, quarterback Syracuse, is the selection, 145 overall, baby. Okay, let's go to your last selection here, unless you do some other trade, I suppose. Is
defensive tackle.
169 overall. Okay, let's go to defensive tackle. This was a pick Pop moved up for, so let's see. All right, we got Tim Smith. We've got Jared Harrison Hunt. So Tim Smith, Alabama. It looks like you missed out on your guy there. Zeke Biggers, Junior Tafuna, Simeon Barrow Jr.
All right, don't scroll down anymore.
Okay.
Go back up.
All right. All right. Is there a different position you'd prefer?
Linebacker.
Okay, here we go. All right, let's go here to off-ball linebacker. All right. Okay, we got Cody Simon, Cody Lindenberg, Danny Strutzman, Small Mondin Jr., Jay Higgins, Teddy Buchanan. Those are the guys that are the top off-ball linebackers currently on the board.
All right, let's pop over to running back.
Ooh, running back. All right, come on, baby. I have no idea who's available here, but I hope it's someone juicy. Ooh, yeah. Kyle Munganai, the juiced up muscle hamster running back from Rutgers, is still on the board. You have Bayshal Tootin, running back out of Virginia Tech, very talented player. Marcus Yarns, halfback out of Delaware. You got Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. Raheem Sanders, running back out of South Carolina. Those are some of the top guys. Ollie Gordon II. LaQuint Allen is still on the board here. Okay, give some Syracuse love here on the show. Trying to check in. Donovan Edwards, the talented running back out of Michigan, is also on the board here. Loved his tape from 2 years ago. Terrific. So, yeah, you got a lot of options here.
Yeah, not the pick I wanted, obviously, with the constraints we're working with. I would have been able to get this last pick of the person I wanted.
Yeah.
So we'll go. I'm ready. Cue the music.
Okay. Chimes are being played, baby. Let's go. All right, this is the 169th overall pick. This is in the 5th round, but the final pick of your mock draft, Pop, unless there's some other trading that is happening here.
We'll take the muscle hamster 2.0.
Oh, yes, Kyle Manungai, the running back out of Rutgers. Smaller guy in stature, but a nasty pass protector. Oh, he's going to be in the league for a decade. I love this pick. Kyle Munganai, you are a New York Jet, the running back out of Rutgers, with the final pick of the Hop on Pop mock draft as it PFS is going through its system to put a bow on this puppy. It's analyzing your draft. You've earned 2 rewards for your draft from PFF. I have no idea what that means, but anywho, here we go. All right. So here, wow, all these trades. So there's a lot to unpack here. So let's unveil it. Let's recap what we've done here. So, Pop, to start off this draft, you traded back from 7 to 20th overall with the Denver Broncos, picking up their first, second, third, and future third-round pick. with that trade back, you selected Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas. At 42 overall, your original 42nd overall pick, you took defensive tackle TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. 51st overall, you acquired that in the Broncos trade. You got Ozzie Trapillo, the Boston College right tackle. You also traded up to pick 56 with the Buffalo Bills and gave them 85, the Denver third-round pick, and the Denver third-round pick in 2026. To move up to 56, you took Oluwafemi Oladejo, the pass rusher out of UCLA. Third round, 73 overall, you took Andrew Makuba Matata, the Texas safety, there in the third round. You moved up in the third round to get the 95th overall pick from the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for 110 and 162 to get your boy, Harold Fannin Jr. out of Bowling Green, the talented tight end. You selected Kyle McCord, 145th overall in the fifth round out of Syracuse, and you traded up to select your final guy, another Buffalo Bills trade where you gave up 186 and 207 for 169 to get Kyle Manungai, the talented muscle hamster running back out of Rutgers. Pops, this is your haul. Everyone in the comment section, feel free to share your thoughts of all of this. A lot of creative trading here. And Pop, first off, before we get to any commenters here, why don't you give us your assessment of your own mock draft here?
Yeah, scroll up.
Okay,
just
sure.
the top for a minute.
Yeah,
You
okay.
can make that. Yeah, so my goal
Here,
with the
I'll
top
back up here
yeah.
so you can see everything all together here. Okay. Okay, there you go. There's the full draft.
Yeah, so my goal was to get my top three were defensive tackle, offensive tackle, and wide receiver.
Uh-huh.
So that was the top three.
Okay.
I'll tell you that when trained back to 20, the most viable player of those three that I wanted, my top three, was Matthew Golden. So I selected him.
Okay.
My other goal with those top three is to get three starters or a competition backup plan, which is really what offensive tackle is.
Sure.
Right? Okafor, we don't know what we have. Ozzie with 24 starts.
Yeah.
For the Eagles, solid. It'll be really who's going to be the starter, Ozzie or Okafor. We'll find out. So very happy with that.
All right.
The defensive tackle, happy with that. So the top three, I think we have three starters.
I agree
with the top three,
Okay.
which is my goal.
Sure.
And
check that off then. Yes.
going on, get the best edge rusher available at our fourth pick.
Okay.
Brings a lot of speed. Very happy with that pick. I can't.
All right.
Okay. And again, I knew that I could get. So for me, tight end after the first top tight end gentleman from Penn State,
Tyler Warren. Yep.
Tyler Warren. To me, it was a body of picks. It was a big lumping after that. And Harold Fanning Jr., that's why I made that move ahead of time to make sure it moved up to, I think it was 95. I can't really see. 95. 95 to get him. He is a Swiss Army knife. He is a weapon, which is one of the keys I wanted. Is he the world's greatest blocker? No. What the Jets needed was a weapon. That's why I made sure that we got Harold Fanning Jr. at pick 95, I think was a steal. He wouldn't have been around much longer. So really happy with that. And
I would just jump in just to say on your Fannin real quick. He seems to be an okay blocker at the second and third levels when he's facing off against linebackers and defensive backs, but he gets in a lot of trouble with defensive linemen. So, so not a great blocker, but okay for what some of the things he'll be asked to do. But okay, I like that for Harold Fannin Jr. And I don't know if you're skipping over or going back to it. You had Makuba.
I'm going back to it.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah, so Makuba, I gave me the flexibility, knowing I could get Harold Fanning Jr. at 95, gave me the flexibility to get a partner for Andre Cisco.
Nice.
Right. And so that was the compliment there. Is he going to be a starter? I don't know, but he definitely shores up, provides us some much needed bench strength there.
Yeah, good competition for Tony Adams either way. He could be the starter. We'll see. Okay, I like that.
Right.
Yep.
And then, I'll tell you that, and this is not to get Ricky from New York's panties in a bunch or a twist. I'm not confident with Jordan Travis.
Fair enough.
Happy to bring in Kyle McCord, right? Tyler Otero is on a 2-year deal that, we're not going to get him at the low rate that we did. Quarterback market is crazy. Even if you decide to stay, we need to have that second quarterback. And I'm not putting all my eggs in a Jordan Travis basket. So that was more of a pick for the future.
Well,
for a
let me
backup
jump in
quarterback?
on that one real quick and just say Connor Rogers was on Flight Plan yesterday with Zach Rosenblatt and Tim McMaster, and I think he gave a beautiful explanation of what teams should be looking for at quarterback when you're going like outside the first round. Basically, is that you're looking for a guy that at minimum can be a high quality backup. And if you look at Kyle McCord and what he's brought to the table, he could be a very good backup in this league. And backup quarterbacks are very expensive. Who knows? Maybe he could be much more than that. That's obviously part of the analysis of bringing him in. But Connor Rogers explained that in the Flight Plan podcast yesterday, and I think I 100% agree. I think Kyle McCord is going to be a perfect clipboard holder, and if he's called upon, you feel pretty good about it. Going to be a franchise quarterback that'll be up to the Jets and development and things of that nature. But like that there, and then you have one more selection.
Yeah, and so I again, with the way you have to do PFF, you have to trade up in advance. Obviously, it would have shaken out differently. I like the muscle hamster; he's solid. I would not have taken a running back. I would have preferred to get another defensive tackle, and I was targeting I'll call him the Mountain from Kentucky.
Oh yeah,
The
Deion
Kentucky
Walker.
Mountain,
Yeah.
Deion Walker. That's why I targeted pick 169 so I could get him. I thought he would have been a phenomenal rotational defensive tackle. And in real world, I would have been able to get him. I would have done different things than I did. But that was the target at 169. He just wasn't available.
Okay, that's good to hear the thought process. I like that. Okay.
And I really didn't like the linebackers that were available, which would have been my other. So it's kind of a defensive tackle linebacker. I didn't like the linebackers. I didn't like the defensive tackles. I think Brees is on his way out, which is why I brought in the muscle hamster.
Okay. Hep says you should have went kicker. He would have loved a kicker. He's been trying to work that in.
I actually considered that, Hep. If I had my trade had been blocked, I would have used pick 207 on a kicker, 100%.
Okay, there you go, Hep. So very nice. So that is the mock draft results for Hop on Pop. We have 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Again, Hop on Pop, my father, just fixed the New York Jets. You could explain to us how well you believe or do not believe that he fixed the Jets there. Dave Briga asks a good question. What is the value of 7 versus 20 on the Jimmy Johnson scale? So one moment, and I can tell you that pretty quickly on the NFL draft value chart, which, by the way, I use quite often. So the 7th overall pick is worth 1,500 points. The 20th overall pick is worth 850 points. So it's almost half the value. It's not quite. It's 650 points that you have to make up. So when you start analyzing all of the Broncos picks that you had in terms of getting a good one there, Denver had 51 overall, which was 390 points. And also we got their third rounder 85 overall with 165. Now, where we split in, this is where it's no longer an official scale. It's about who you've learned from. What I've learned from people, for when you trade future draft picks, a NFL draft person a long time ago when they were training me and teaching me about all this stuff said it's the middle value of the round you're picking. So if you grab a future third round pick, it's worth half the value. A middle third round pick is how it's been described to me. But I've heard other people say it's described where it's one round later. So a future third is worth a fourth, if that makes sense. So like it's one round later than what it is. So my father, long story short, on the NFL draft value chart, did quite well with the pointage. He maybe even could have gotten more, quite frankly. Again, I know some people were arguing for a future first instead of all the combination now, but especially in a mock draft scenario, I love seeing my dad's thought process of getting more picks and ammunition that allowed other trades. But obviously, when he dropped from 7 to 20, a future first could have been on the table potentially instead of a lot of the picks now.
Yeah, and what I wanted out of the draft, I wanted weapons for Justin Fields. I think I've got them both at tight end and at wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I wanted to provide some, some more foundation on the offensive line as needed, and then shore up the defensive tackles. That's the stuff I wanted to walk away with. The other stuff is icing on the cake, potential backup quarterback of the future, and who knows. That was real icing on the cake, and then the partner for Andre Sisco in that secondary rotation.
Yeah, like I said I really like the haul. A lot of the name again, Matthew Golden would be wonderful. There's no other question about it. He would be terrific from that perspective. So Matthew Golden's fun. Ozzie Trapillo, you're getting a starting caliber right tackle at 51st overall. How do you not love getting some of that action here on the table? I will say, as we're going through a couple of these names that I just haven't been as high on during this process, but I love us doing this because it gives us an opportunity to talk about different guys. He being Dane Brugler of the Beast has TJ Sanders as his ninth ranked defensive tackle. The grade was right. He gave him a second or third round grade. You took him in the second round. There was other players on the board, which I found interesting. Is there a reason why? Well, obviously, I'm sure there is. That you targeted TJ Sanders over some of the other defensive tackles that were in this class. Why TJ Sanders?
Yeah, I just, of course, I just closed all my windows. So
Oh, sorry. No, that's okay. I was just sort of curious because, like I said, when you bring up T.J. Sanders, he has a lot of intriguing traits. He's 6'4". He's 305 pounds. He's 21. He's going to be 22 soon. He's from South Carolina, so a South Carolina boy, born and raised, all going in there. He's the ninth-ranked defensive tackle, but a top 70 player for Dane Brugler. Some other stats on him I see from here: a 2-year starter at South Carolina, versatile defensive tackle. He can line up all over the place. A late bloomer, didn't even start football until he was in high school as a junior, so that's really late to the game. I see some of his stats the last 2 years. I mean, these are really nice numbers. It shows you some of that explosiveness. In 2023 and 2024, he had 9.5 tackles for loss, 7 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 4 pass deflections in 2023. Is super intriguing as a guy that gets his hands up. So I love that.
I'm back. I'm back into it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're Boogler, right? NFL ESPN.com has him as number 5 defensive tackle, whatever number you said, 8 or 9. So experts
9,
have it differently. He was the top rated guy that I had looked at on the board remaining.
Okay. There you go. That more than explains that, obviously. That makes a lot of sense. The other one, so I'm familiar with Ozzie, Makuba, Fannin Jr., Kyle McCord. Those are all guys, obviously, that have had a lot of hoopla over. There's no question about it. But when you go to the last one, which your UCLA pass rusher, so whatever notes you have on him, I'm sort of curious. He had him on, let me see, as the 13th ranked pass rusher. He had him as a second or third round grade, and you got him in at 56. So very good value there. And there's a lot of really talented pass rushers in this class. He's 6'3", 261 pounds. He's 21, will be turning 22 soon. 13th ranked edge rusher, 64th overall on the big board here. Some of the statistics for this talented young man. He spent his first 2 years at Cal and then transferred over to UCLA. He's coming off a career season. He had 13.5 tackles for loss. That's insane. 4.5 sacks last year. So it seems like, as I'm looking at this young man, that he has, it is pronounced Olu Wafa Feme, or Femi, or Feme, excuse me. I'm just trying to pronounce this right. Oladejo is how you pronounce it. So thank you, Dane Brugler, for that. Born and raised in the California area. So he's an interesting guy. He's just one I haven't done a lot of homework on with the other guys, a stand-up edge rusher in the UCLA system, hybrid front seven guy, mostly 2-point stance pass rusher. He's played Mike linebacker also. He's played some off-ball linebacker too. That's fascinating. And transitioned to a new position of edge rusher and then became the permanent move. They tried to do that so he could do less thinking and more attacking. He led the Bruins in tackles for loss and sacks this past season, and he is quite known as a run defender, apparently. Shout out to Dane Brugler for all this from the Beast. Oladejo is both physical and rangy with the violence in his hands to shed and close speed down the football backside. His pass rush is more basic than advanced, but he's raw in that department, new to that field. So, yeah, he was a name just I haven't done a lot on. So, interesting.
Yeah, and I really liked, what he brings to the table. That he also can combat the run, which we haven't had in some of our edge rushers. Like, who's on Reddick, and he really showed up and showed out at the Senior Bowl. His aggressiveness. So he was a top guy I had at the board that time, and actually I wasn't planning on taking edge at that time, and I moved up because he was still available.
I love that. I love that you have the, whatever the word is, openness, for lack of a better word, of being able to kind of pivot, because that's what a draft is, quite frankly. Things are happening. To your point, like Deion Walker, a name that you apparently targeted, right? During a draft, it's going pick by pick by pick, and you can be making those calls as opposed to this sort of archaic system of trying to do it in advance and left, right, the other. That makes a lot of sense. So, really, really interesting. I like that. So, okay, that's your hall pop. So, how would you grade yourself?
I would say overall, I got every selection I wanted except the last pick.
Okay.
And so I would say that the last trade was not great. So with that, I'll give myself a B minus.
Okay. So PFF gave you a C plus. What's your reaction to PFF?
PFF, I can tell them to do take their FF.
We've got 2 words for you.
That's right.
Okay. There you go. Beautiful. All right, Pop, are you ready to open up the phone lines? By the way, also, people, for everyone that interacted with the mock draft, thank you so much. We'll be putting this up on Instagram, our YouTube community post. We'll put this up on Twitter, where people are always nice to share their very kind opinions in a very civil way. You guys can react. We'll also put out grades, so you'll be able to grade this mock draft, and I'll share those results with my father on Twitter. You'll be able to vote on that poll on those results. You also get to see the full trade results, too. So you can factor that into the thought process. But to watch the full show, obviously, we'll give them a link back to this program as well to tune in. But appreciate all the trading, moving around, Pop. That was a lot of fun. So hop on Pop in the books and continue this annual tradition for many years to come. You've given the Jets the blueprint. It's up to the Jets if they want to use it.
There you go.
All right. Are you ready for the phone lines, Pop?
I am. I think I got a few minutes before the bacon light is lit.
Okay, beautiful. Again, another reminder, everybody, we have a flash giveaway happening. Right now, only 2 people are eligible. It is only people that have gifted on today's show. It is Indy Jets and his Aced Up 10. So if you want a chance at this flash giveaway, again, we have this Jets hat, brand spanking new, old school Jets hat, all the tags and everything still on it. We have a Jet shirt, Robbie Anderson and Quincy Anunwa, baby. A shout out to Top Gun. We have this up for grabs. Okay, so both of those are up for grabs. It's a flash giveaway, so all the memberships and gifting are available today. I highly recommend anyone that wants a chance to win some awesome stuff, submit those memberships and super chats. They're only $2.99 a pop. Again, it is only for today, from the start of the show to the end of the show. By the time we get to the end of the show, we will randomly give that away again. So good luck to everybody, and enjoy. All right, Pop, without further ado, let's do it. Let's jump on over to the phone lines.
Boy green daily, boy green daily, boy green daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy green daily, boy green daily, boy green daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
The phone lines are now open, everybody. If you'd like to get involved, that's youtube.com/boygreen25 here on the program. Again, youtube.com/boygreen25 to call in. Remember, the free way to contribute to the show is by liking the video and hitting subscribe. We're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers, baby. So appreciate that. Bad Shot's like, what size is that shirt? Oh, boy.
Medium.
It appears to be very medium. But let me
I don't think Bad Shot wears too many shirts. He's always calling in with his shirt off.
That is 1,000% a medium. So, maybe if you butter up, you can get a better chance at that, or give that to a future child, perhaps. I don't know. Sorry on the size there, Bad Shot, but there you go. There it is. But feel free. Like I said, PayPal, Venmo, all of that is available, and Super Chats and memberships. All really good to roll. All right, let's head on over to the phone lines here on the show. It is Indy Jets kicking us off. What's up, Indy?
Hey, good morning, Pops. Good morning, BG.
Good morning.
Okay, Indy, what'd you think of that mock?
Well, here's my thoughts. So you have a defensive-minded coach who proved in Detroit that he could take a lesser quality defensive player and turn him into, you know how they were talking about, make a third rounder play like a first rounder, so forth. He could make a fourth or fifth rounder play like a second rounder. I think that's kind of the goal. So if it was me, I would have stayed clear away from anything defensive line in the first 3 rounds, because I know that the coach can take a fifth rounder and make him play like a second or third. And we need more help around Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And so that's the only, it's not a bad draft by any means, but what I would have looked for maybe, another route to stay on the offensive side, and picked up a defensive, picked up some defensive players in the later rounds, knowing that the coach can coach them up. I don't necessarily have confidence in him that he can coach a fourth or fifth round offensive player to make. I mean, maybe he can. I don't know. We don't know yet, but we know that he can do that with a defensive player. So I would rather have focused our top picks all on offense and our back end on defense, knowing that he can bring the defense up. That's the only thing I have to say. But
Pop, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say that really, if you look at it, I don't have the list in front of me, but I would say I actually drafted more players on the offense and defense. But yeah, he is right that Aaron Glenn's going to be able to get more out of the players on the defensive side of the ball based on his background.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
BG, you have who do you have coming on your show for draft day?
So let's see. We'll have Jericho Cotry. We'll have James Woody. We'll have Pop. We'll have Matt Lombardo. He's an NFL insider. I've got Drew Beatty, a draft analyst. I'll have to pull up the list. We got a bunch of people coming on. And then formerly of the NFL Network, her name's going to escape me. She joins me either day of or day before the draft this week. Oh my God, I'm gonna Lindsay Rhodes. She joins us and she's coming on as well.
And so I'm gonna call in, and I'm gonna have Fireman Ed sitting with me.
Oh, awesome!
He's gonna be there at Jake's party. So I'm gonna try to set it up to where some kind of time frame where we can call where I can call in. And you can have a conversation. I'll just hand him the phone and say, here you go. You can we can have you can have a little snippit of Ed in there.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, sure.
That'd
be cool.
That'll be a great little lineup, or even how awesome would that be to have Cotry on there with Fireman Ed talking back and forth, or something like that.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that'd be cool. A Jet chant at a minimum. We'll have to get that live from
yeah. If we can get Ed to do us a little Jet chant, I'll probably do it. Wait until after we pick.
Right. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Sure.
Yeah, that way we've calmed down and everybody's has a chance to get an opinion then, and so they can but so yeah, I'll that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that when we call in, I'll see if I can talk him into. I'll buy him a drink or something, and we'll
you'll work out the negotiations. I love that, Indy. Awesome. So yeah, that'd be cool. So again, shout out to Jake Asman. He's going to have a live party on that draft day. If you guys are going to that, feel free to call in from that. I'd love to support in any way I can. So salute to Jake. All right, everybody. Here is your final call for our flash giveaway. Brand new Jets draft hat, or not draft hat, excuse me. Brand new Jets hat. Old school. We have this, and then we have that Jet shirt available that could fit on Badshaw's corgi, perhaps, that you can throw in on a medium, and you guys can tie that or do something better with it. Feel free. That's up to you. Final call. Right now we have 2 people in for our flash giveaway raffle here on the program, and it gets me emotional talking about this. And we have Aced Up 10 and we have Indy Jets. Those are only 2 right now, people. So if you want to get in your last second flash raffle tickets, now is the time to do so, baby, for this. If not, that will be our raffle flash giveaway that we'll do. Hey, look, Indy is in for another one, baby. He just doubled his raffle tickets. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Who do we got there?
Skinny D23. Skinny D23.
Okay, beautiful. So Indy now has 2 raffle tickets in our flash giveaway. Again, if anyone else would like to submit those in any form or fashion, feel free. All right, there you go. Hop on Pop getting involved. Every time we get a super chat, we get a YouTube, or excuse me, anytime we get a YouTube super chat here on the show, we hear from my daughters, Ryla. Wow. All right, awesome draft show. Shout out to Imam G, which we can throw up on the screen here real quick. Again, all emojis are created by our boy Snowball Baby. So, booyah. Let's show this up on the screen for Imam G. Awesome draft show. Shout out to Pop for jumping in the mix on as well. And look at that even more, baby, because we have Hop on Pop Mania, which is this weekend and was today, for Pete's sake, which was a real old grand time. Wow. Pop is in for a couple of raffle tickets too, so we got to add a Hop on Pop here to the mix, of course. So beautiful. Appreciate that. Very nice. Okay, we got Hop on Pop in for a couple of raffle tickets. Again, final call, people. And I will try to keep an eye on the phone just in case PayPal or anything is going on. Or Lily and Big D says it won't fit, but what the fuck? LOL, throw in some raffle tickets action. There you go. That's the spirit. Wow. Go. Thankfully, the hat is customizable, so it will fit anyone's head. So that's the good news on the hat. But for the others, well, I guess here you go. So there you go. People just, this is what I say, is that people just enjoy winning stuff. So, you have sort of that rush, hopefully, of that action happening. So Floor Lily is in for 3 tickets. Okay, very nice. All right, let's throw those in the mix. Appreciate you. Thank you, pal. All right, very nice. Hop on Pop, obviously, here in the mix as well. So let's add Floor Lily. And then we'll start this raffle, it appears. Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Oh, we got Jimmy Jet.
Oh, we have more coming in? Okay, let me jump back over. I'm jumping between multiple windows here. Let's see what happens. Jimmy Jet's baby. Here we go. Now we're getting it raining from the high heavens. You love to see it. All right, Pop, who are the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club?
Yeah, 99 Jet. Soldiers of God. Jorge Galvez, Aiken, Gilbert Farmer.
All right, beautiful. And every time we get someone gifting 5 memberships or more, we have to play a quick video. And how about some Mickey Shuffle?
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
Give me some, baby. Jimmy Jed's jumping in the mix with a 5-pack combination. Nice. Indy Jets. Yeah.
Badshaw is asking how much is the raffle.
Yeah, it is $2.99 per raffle ticket, and there are no limits. So that is how much they are. So I will hang on for a little bit longer to see if anyone else wants to squeeze into the mix here on this flash giveaway. They're $2.99 a piece, so you could gift as many as you'd like. And again, this is just a flash giveaway here only today. Anyone who just gifted today on the membership train obviously is eligible to go. So I will throw some of those more names on there here on the train. So Jimmy Jets, you're in for 5. Beautiful. We have Floor Lily and Big D, which is currently in for 3. We've got Hop on Pop with 2, Aced Up 10 with 16. He currently has the most of everybody, and Indy Jets with 2 as well. That's our current leaderboard here for our flash giveaway. Jimmy Jets loves some cold cuts. Cold cuts not included in this particular raffle. And quite frankly, included. I don't know if any raffle. That would be probably disgusting by the time it eventually got to you there. And no, I've never bought hot cuts. I have not. Although my pop down there in the Conway area, they have it as well. Okay, Badshaw just submitted a raffle ticket, baby. Let's hit it. Again, that option is also always available for everybody. You just sent that in over PayPal. So shout out to Badshaw here, who now has a raffle. Again, I tell everybody, you might as well try to get one raffle ticket to this thing. You never know what can happen. All right. So let's put Badshaw in here, and then we'll release the hounds. Yes, Pop, go ahead.
Yep, I'm going to do a 30-second runoff for anybody last-minute takers.
Okay, yes, okay. We'll do one last runoff. Again, any raffle ticket you want to send in, again, you guys can do that down below. I'll throw up the banner here. The banner's up updated for numbers, but it's updated so you guys can see the Venmo and PayPal. It's at the end of this banner here. It's at BoyGreen25. That is BOY Green the color 25. You guys can PayPal or Venmo in. Just say your YouTube name and that it's for the raffle, and I will submit those as well if you want to avoid all the YouTube restrictions that exist. Again, that is PayPal or Venmo at BoyGreen25. Just say it's for the raffle, and we'll get those in here. And then we will release the hounds here live on the show.
All right. 20
Okay.
seconds.
Okay, 20 seconds. Get your last second raffles in. Okay, so feel free to do that. Okay, everybody. All right.
That's how you're going to hell for that comment. 10 seconds.
Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. Badshaw saying, I'm trying to find a Jets Michael Vick jersey for my Corky. You sick bastard. Okay.
All right, time.
Okay, as we're about to submit, let's squeeze in one more call. We got Hep here on the show. What's up, Hep?
I just wanted to give my stamp of approval on Pop's draft. Good job, Pop.
All right, there you
Thank
go.
you, Hep. Thank you very
thanks,
much.
Hep. Appreciate it, pal. All right, beautiful. Jets Worldwide says, I'm not eligible due to being an employee of the Boy Green Enterprises. Of course, makes sense. Okay, without further ado, let's do it, Pop. Let's throw it up here on the big board. Let me just make sure that I've gotten everybody here that is submitted. We have Indy Jets with 2 raffle tickets here. We got Jimmy Jets. So we got Hop on Pop for 2. Let me just make sure I got everybody. We have Indy Jets with 2. We have Aced Up 10 with 16. We have Hop on Pop with 2, for Lily and Big D with 3, Jimmy Jets with 5, and Badshaw with 1. Is there anyone I missed, Pop?
Nope.
Okay, beautiful. So let's throw this up on the big board. Let me do this real quick, as smooth as possible here, and then we'll give this right here on the program. Okay, Wheel of Names, random name picker. Again, all of your guys' names have been submitted for this flash giveaway. It's all in the hands of the gods. Without further ado, let's see who won this flash giveaway. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's going. It's going.
Keep going. Keep going.
And there it is. Aced Up 10. Congratulations.
Nice.
You had the most raffle tickets. Makes a lot of sense. You won our flash giveaway, which again is an old school Jets hat and a shout out Quincy Anunwa and the artist formerly known as Robbie Anderson shirt. So shout out to Aced Up 10 with a $50 super chat earlier on the show. Pop, I know you got a dip. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Boy Green, we'll see you Thursday.
Okay, there you go for the live draft show. My Pop will be on the live draft show coming up on Thursday. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Aced Up 10 will be shipping that out to you. So shout out on the $50 super chat. We will be back on tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. Appreciate it. Real quick, I'll answer one more question here. It says, Florida Lily said, who is available at 7 when Pop's traded back? I missed that part. I'm pretty sure I should be able to check that in a moment. So 1 second here. Let me make sure I can check that out. All right, I got his mock draft. Yeah, full results. Okay, 1 second. All right, let's see. Again, let me rephrase. Here were the players, round 1. Okay, yeah. Here are the players that were off the board. Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Travis Hunter, Ted McMillan, Will Campbell, Ashton Genty, and then obviously the Jets were on the board at 7. So let's see what was available. So obviously Graham was gone. There was still Tyler Warren on the board. Yep, Tyler Warren was on the board. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else of note. Armand Membu was on the board. So a couple of those guys were still on the board. Some of the regulars were still on the board for that for Lily. Yes. Awesome. Shout out to Dakota and everybody that was supporting on the channel. Love it. Thank you very much. Peace, deuces. We'll be back on the show tomorrow morning to the 400 people watching live. Like the video, hit subscribe. Appreciate you. Enjoy WrestleMania. Again, I'm wearing my CM Punk shirt. He's the main event tonight. Check the time. It's clobbering time, baby, for CM Punk in the main event in the triple threat match against Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, and Seth freaking Rollins. It's going to be a fun WrestleMania. Hope for all our wrestling fans that are either out there in Vegas or are going to be watching both of WrestleMania today and tomorrow. You enjoy it. For all my wrestling fans out there, enjoy. God bless. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody.